All right, welcome back to the stream. Last time, it's been a while. We were working on all of our maps, and we've started to get to work on the story, which has been really cool. So we've worked a lot on the combat elements. So we got combos and weapons and some fun stuff just to set up some basics for how our game should work. Because realistically, that's what most people are going to spend a lot of time doing. But then we have a lot of story elements that we got to get through, which will be cool. So I think for right now, I want to go ahead and just kind of like string together all of these maps that we've set up. The maps aren't super high quality. I know that. It's not the point right now. We just, well, on one part, maybe I could pull it up actually. It's kind of cool. So I've been using this program. It's called Twine. Here, I'll flip over my camera so you can see what's up. There we go. Okay, so I've seen people make games before in this program, and it's like this narrative-based program, which, I mean, honestly, if I... well, okay, so this is what it looks like, but I can actually run this in like HTML in a browser, which, yeah, if I click here, okay, we can actually see this play as a game. And so I haven't written that much for the story for it, but the point is the choices are there, which is kind of cool. So this is that first scene that you show up in chapter 0. Anyway, so there's this kid. He's being attacked. You can choose to either walk right by them. You try to attack, and the guy kills you, or you kill the guy. Technically, you don't know who he is, though, so this is lore. But it's honestly pretty interesting if you ignore them for now. Because this puts you on like track to go through like I guess it's like the good ending. So we'll go through here. He walks free, and then maybe there's some foreshadowing for like maybe something later happens. Okay, so then this is where you make it to the bar scene. So you've walked through everything, and basically what this program does is it just keeps track of like what choices will you run into if you go down certain paths. And so if you choose to invite Harrison with you, then you go down into the sewers and you head out in that direction. If you ignore him, then you get the choice of like where to go, which is, anyway, it's just super interesting. And so we can kind of run through this. So you'll meet Marcus and Brant if you go through here. Looks like I haven't coded that yet, which honestly I don't know if I will, because there's so many different endings, and it's actually easier to kind of ignore a lot of this. Okay, so then you end up coming to the end of the sewers, and if this other character named Joe that you meet, if he dies, then you get to choose where to go. And this time, if you show up to the kingdom, there's certain areas which, depending on when you get to them during the game, they will be on fire or not, or like the fire will have burnt out anyway. And so it just, again, adds a whole another layer of choices to the game where there's going to be so many variations to everything. I basically, I want to make it really confusing to keep track of, so that you can't just go like, oh, this is a simple game. I do this, this happens, and then that's it. That's the whole game. I want you to keep playing through it over and over, and every time you're like, whoa, this is completely different. And yet everything is deterministic, meaning if you do the same thing over and over, the same things happen to a degree. There's a little bit of random, but not too much. Okay, so then you get to the second market district, and then there's 3 different endings from this pathway alone. And then if I hop back into our Twine, you can honestly see that there are, well, here, I'll just run through some of the branches. I mean, And these are just the endings that I've added so far. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This should go somewhere. I haven't done that, so that's, give me some more endings. So that's like 10 there, plus there's other places you can go. Say 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and that's just the ones that I've done so far. So like technically there's probably going to be 100 different endings in this game, which might be a lot, but we'll see where it goes. Anyway, so let's get into the actual game here. So I am not going to mess around too much more with just the design of these maps. This is a loose outline for how the game should look and work. And it's more for me to just kind of structure like, okay, roughly this is the size of the map. We head over here, like this will force the player to walk through this little like crevasse. They'll meet enemies here, and they'll just, it's a way of keeping track of like where I want the player to go. So later on, when I end up adding more elements to this particular room, I will know where to add them. And so then I can just take this picture, I can draw over it, replace it, do a higher quality picture, and I just do that with all of these, and then eventually this room will be finished, but it's like its own little like cell of the whole game. And so that way I can kind of like just really focus on like, okay, is this room completed? And if it is, then like that's done. That's like, 1, 2, 3% of the game finished completely. And then I can move on to the next chunk. And then that just gives me a really like linear progression for the game, where if I finish like 5 rooms, I will never have to go back and like redo that room, because it's not going to affect the other like 20 levels that I have. Those are independent, and they have their own structures, and they have their own pictures, and when I finish this, like, adding to the kingdom isn't going to affect high society. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, and then from here, I think, yeah, I was saying the most important part for me is I just want to connect all of these things together so that you could literally play from start to finish, although it's still in prototype form. So essentially, we want to be able to go from the menu to the kingdom. And if we can do that, then I think I'm happy with where things are at. Also, just from the size of the kingdom last time I played it, I'm going to scale down like a bunch of it. This part is good. In fact, this part I think needs to be a bit bigger. But this room, for instance, like this chair, Keegan's like about that big, and so like these things need to be adjusted a little. But the point is, again, I have this picture. It is established. It's set up. The layout won't change that much, but now it gives me something to like refine. Whereas if I just don't have anything, then it's like it's difficult. And if I already had finished like completely final drafting this throne room, and it turns out it didn't mesh well with like this doorway and this doorway, I'd have to restart. And so this gives me multiple different things. We're like, okay, so I do want this door to connect to this room, or this section of the castle, but I also want a door down here to connect into this like covered area into the courtyard. But I want this to be smaller. And so I can't really reduce the size of these walls because this has to connect through here somehow. But this clearly has to come in a little bit. And so, I could turn this into like a long hallway, for instance, and then have like maybe this wall here moves in here. I could move the columns into this area, but it gives me something to play with that is like malleable, basically. Okay, so that's all cool. Let's just start running through, like, from the top. When we click on things, when things happen, where does it go, what should happen, and let's just kind of play test and get things rolling in terms of gameplay and stuff. Okay, so this is your main menu. Technically, the way that this menu should start is that these are not activated yet, and we just had this on just to test everything out. However, we well, that's worth looking at, to be honest. Okay, so it has a little like intro sequence that plays, and I guess I should figure out how that works. Okay, so let me spend a second here trying to figure out how all of this works. I believe that these don't start off. I actually think all of this is on. We just turn on these things here. Okay, so this should take about like 20 seconds to play out in full, I believe. Oh, hang on. I heard a sound play. One of these might be Play on Awake. Oh, maybe not. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna listen here. Okay. Wasn't from this. I should pause my stream music here. Okay, so music plays. There's an intro sequence. Should I move my camera? It doesn't matter too much. Okay. Okay, so issue. These guys show up. We don't want that. That's a easy fix. I know how to fix that. and they disappeared. That's so funny. They should come back, yeah. Okay, so then it plays a random quote every time too, which is fun. So again, that like, I guess the individual elements of the game, where like every time you play it, it's different. Okay, so they should fade in here. Then you can click on these and do stuff, which is, it's so cool. I love it. The vibe of everything is just, it's so impeccable right now. But every time you play the game, it's going to be different and unique to you and your playthrough. And so even like down to the very quote, when you first open up the game, technically is, no one will see like the quotes that you do in the way that you play. I don't know. Everything will just be so unique, which is cool. I want players to have a like a very personal experience with everything. Okay, I am going to click on this. We have to come back and fix this later though. Okay, and then that cool sound plays, and then it fades out. We run into an issue. Cutscene new game. Yes, that's because we renamed this to 0 cutscene new game. So we have to go here and go 0 cutscene. Okay. And then I think for the quit button, we just have it like exit the application, which doesn't work in the editor, but it'll work in the real game. Okay, so what we have to do is we just have to set this on menu for these two guys, and then that should set it below all of the other fade elements, which then should just everything should play out perfectly. And honestly, it might play a different quote this time. It should. It's random though, so. But I think I have a couple different quotes in here, so we'll see if it works. Okay, it's the same one. I wonder if I remove that. Maybe I just had it play the same one for now. But I mean, it's a good quote. It's cool. It's relevant. So works. Yeah, and then I tried to have it time with the music. There's a little bit of like GPU computing elements that kind of get messed up with it though. So it literally depends on your like computer whether or not. So I need to fix that. Okay, what's up with this? What's up with these guys? What? What in the world? So it's set on menu for sure. We want it to be unfocused right now. So what's going on here? So what does this guy show up like above, below? I mean that's certainly sitting there, but that's so funny. That did not happen before. Okay, weird. So what is it behind? Just out of curiosity. Title. So this should be just this black screen. Oh, and then this one. Oh, okay. So this needs to be negative, like, I don't know. We'll just say -5. So it doesn't really matter too much, but should be it. Yeah. Okay, we'll just run through it one more time. I'm fairly certain though, if I hop over to here and we go to, it should be like in quotes or something. Maybe it's not. Intro quotes. Yeah, there should be all of these different quotes. So it should randomly be picking these, but maybe I turned off the random max. It might have something to do with this here, and it will only pick like the first one because I have max set to 1. So there might be an issue with that, but anyway. We're gonna get back to full screen. So everything should work from here. Okay, this pops up. This all looks good. It's incredible, nice, fun, awesome. Okay. So I added this cool pencil sound when you hover over the buttons, which is, it's so cool. It just gives it that nice, like, I don't know. What kind of even like vibe is that? But hand-drawn game. Okay, right off the bat. Click on this, that like bell sound plays, which is so cool. Music fades out, goes to black, transitions to new scene, music starts playing, fade in, have this cutscene intro sequence. I'll redraw a lot of these, have some cool, anyway, just images. This one's probably like the final form for the image here, but and then we have this, which is that signature picture that I'm using for everything. And then we have issue because chapter 0, right? Because what did we call it now? It is chapter... Oh, it is 1 intro. So we need to go to cutscene new game, and we call it now 1 intro. And then the big thing with the intro that I want to do, so we'll play through this again, just because it starts music playing and does some other things, so it's not just, no it doesn't. Dang. I mean, is that a problem? Because I believe if I do this and I go to new game, does it mess up like the sequencing here? Okay, wait, so I need to go here, make sure that this is song index 1. It should. Oh, wait, okay, that's because of this. Okay, so turn that off, and then we do this. What does this do? Doesn't play anything. That's fine. I'm just, okay, what I'm curious about is if I set this in the hierarchy here, when we go back and load this level, I have a don't destroy on load on this. Will it, I guess, like replace this object, basically? Also, it's not playing the right song. Why? Did I do the wrong one? I did the wrong one, that's why. Okay. Let's try it again. Okay. Since we're already here, we might as well like test it out. Cause we're doing debugging stuff, I guess. So okay, we can skip all of this, which is an issue that we'll fix, but for now we're gonna abuse that. Okay, this is good. This is good. So it did work. It worked. We didn't have to edit anything there. Okay, so that's nice. That's nice. Just let this play out then, and we should end up in chapter 1. Okay. We are now in the game. Okay, so what we need to do, which I will turn this down just a little bit here. It doesn't quite need to be that loud. Okay, so what we need to add, and honestly, gosh, I almost feel like, do I really want to have a walking mode and a combat mode? Because the movement is just, it's so nice to play around with. That's funny. I might remove that. I might remove that at some point. Okay, now it looks like I need to get rid of or add the fog back in. Okay, what we need here, and this is like a really important part, is this character. This is Keegan. And he stands up, and I have this little animation that plays. Obviously, it's not the finalized version of that, so we'll have to come back to that at some point. But what I want is that it plays, and then your character spawns in. So we got to figure out how that works. So you know what I might do is that I am going to copy and paste this from here as well, and throw in our Something Wicked song. Okay, just to mess with it, just so it's there and exists, and when I load a new scene, it should manage all of the music properly. So that's cool. Okay, so we have this in the game now, which is cool. So we're starting to get that like finalized version of the game. Which, like, yeah, honestly, man, we run with good FPS. The big issues when we bring in the fog rendering, and as long as this like will render fine, like later on in the game, because also a big chunk of all of this is where is it? Yeah, is just the editor. So technically, I guess you can't really see this. Technically, we are running at 100 FPS the whole time, and so it's like it's good. It's good, even with the fog, even with all these particle effects and just fun stuff like. And obviously, when we get out of range, you can see that the performance increases. So we got way like higher frame rate here. But as long as like when we walk through here, like we're not tanking performance, like I'm happy with this. The fog effect is critical to the game. It looks good, looks amazing, and we're gonna keep it. So anyway, I don't know if I can get away with forcing the player into not combat mode, because like holy crap, he'd be slow. He'd be slow. And I don't know if I want this for the game or not. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ponder this deeply, because like this is just nice. It's just so nice to run around like this, and honestly, if the entire game was like this, I see no problem with that. So that's very interesting. But again, this is like, well, if I sat there and put like 20 hours into his like slow walking animation, it would be really difficult for me to justify removing that part of the game. But since it's all kind of prototypey and stuff, it's like, well, is it fun to play this way, or is it fun to play this way? And I'm not judging whether or not I've like sunk time into this feature as whether or not it's worthy of being in the game. It genuinely, like, is it fun or not? So that's cool. That's cool. I like that. Okay, I might make the fog just a little bit slower here. Bump it up to 170. Okay, and so then the big thing right here is we got to figure out the get up animation. So, couple things. For his walking animation, all right, we get to animator, has all these sprites. What I want. Hi, welcome to the stream. We are adding a intro animation for Keegan on the first level. So he's starting off like he's laying on the ground, and then he gets up. And so I got to figure out the code for how to have his character play those animations, and then we have to activate his player model afterward. And I think for right now, the best way that I have this set up is I just have the animator, and it plays fine. It has all of the sprites in here. It plays through. There is like a delay, which I might reduce that a little bit. It only plays once, and and then it's done. And I think that what I need to do is, can I start off the game with Keegan's body not being active in the game? Do I get errors when I do that? Okay, I do, so I can't do that. Can I make it so that he can't move, and we turn off his body sprite? Let's see how that works. Okay, so then he'll get up right there. This is good. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I still want to make the fog a little bit. We need to make it start a little bit further out. How do I do that? So we have to make this maybe start back like here-ish. Let's see. So we're at -4. Let's bump it out to like -8 or something. And then we'll put that there. And from here, all that we need to do is we're going to add some special code on this get up animation. And let's add a quick Boolean here, which just, it's something special where we just go public bool, call it intro sequence. And basically what it will do is we could reuse this for other code instances in the game where we have a cutscene. But if single, okay, so that means that it has played through one time. Done equals true. Okay, so if done. So that means we have run through the entire animation and we're only doing it once. If done, then we go if intro sequence. Then we have to check, so we'll have to grab Keegan's character, I think. Okay, so we need his, we need to set can move to true, and then the body sprite to enabled. Okay, so then let's, oh man, how do you do this again? Hang on, I have to look this up. I think header variables. Oh, and now my music is totally off because we were testing the game. That's so funny. There we go. That's nice. Okay, so we're gonna look up how to make a header in Unity. Okay. So if we set this here, we go Keegan cutscene, and this should create this nice little header in the editor for us, which will be cool. Okay, so we go public Keegan player, and then public sprite renderer player body. Okay. So then we go if player dot, well, I guess if player dot. Oh, actually, here's a better idea. We just set intro sequence to false. Okay, so then we go Keegan player dot, nope, we go player dot can move equals true, and player body dot enabled equals true. And then I guess we need to destroy this. We'll do this dot game object. Okay, yeah. So, were you the one that played my other game, Lucid? In that game, there are newspaper clippings that you can get. Um, this game will definitely have a lot of stuff that's kind of like that. Um, I still haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do that exactly. Um, just with I don't know, just with all of the different like things in the game that needs to happen, and you need to be able to like wander around and run away from the fog, and so you can't just sit there and like read a newspaper for a long time. But with the library, anything that you collect, it'll be stored in this like library that you can go to after the game, and you'll be able to sit and read all of it. And in that, there will be like newspaper clippings and things. So technically, yes. To answer your question, yes. So let's go sprite animation. So I just wanted to separate the header here. Okay, cool. So we got heading here and heading here. Yeah, I hope it's a fun way of doing it too. It's difficult because I have this element where the fog is constantly rolling in, and so it kind of makes it tricky for like lore and stuff. If I want the game to be slow paced, it's just not. It has to be a fast paced game because of the way that I've made it, which is cool. It's kind of unique. It's interesting. Yeah, I've never really played anything like this totally, so curious to see how it'll turn out. Okay, so we go to Keegan. We want Keegan in here, intro sequence, and then this one. And I believe we should be able to just run with this, and it should work. So, let me pause our music. We'll go here. Can't move around, can't dash, can't do anything. And then bam. And like it looks, I don't know, kind of janky, but like it's fine. It's fine. Point is, we have the functionality. It works. We've done it. I can turn these off. And this is where we're at. So not bad. Okay, I will go back to turning down the music more because the in-game music is quite loud in my ear. We can do that. Okay, so if I go ahead and run through this whole level here, I do want to test if this connects all of the rooms so far that we've made. Obviously at some point, we're gonna add the two characters here. We're gonna add the elevator sequence here, but if I click on it, should just roll me over to this level, which is cool. Now we're at this point. We can kind of interact with all this stuff here, which is awesome. Love how the animation has turned out with the dialogue. So that's cool. Can interact with other stuff. All of that's working. And technically the fog is on during all of this, but we're just running really fast. So yeah. So all of this is just draft type stuff. None of it's finalized yet. We're just laying out the blueprints of the game so that later on we can have an easier time crafting it all. Okay, so we run up, now we're at the bar. We can go into here. This is where Harrison is, so we'll talk with him, have a whole conversation. How about Party the Poland? Oh, you mean Potty the Plant? Party the Poland. You'll have to explain that one. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, and then this level is like a really long level, so I'm just gonna skip through it here. Whee! And now we show up here. Okay, and then here, okay, yeah, the plant. Yes, we're about to see it. It should be right in here. Okay, so then this is the kingdom. Yes, the plant is inside of the kingdom here. So we're about to go in. This will be fun to add like stuff that goes over the top of the player, so it'll look like he's going underneath it. That'll be cool. Yeah, we gotta edit all of this stuff in here. Reduce the size of all of these things, although we still want to keep these doors here and stuff. That'll be cool. And then, yes, of course, the legendary Potty the Plant right here, hanging out. He'll be blue at some point. I think I saw your picture in the Discord of this, so we'll get that all implemented into the game real soon. Okay, so courtyard area here. There is this tower that you can go up, and then okay, there's not much after this, but then you have these two pathways. Okay, cool. It's a little hard to see what's going on because it feels so zoomed in, but once I start adding more like detail to everything, it'll make more sense. Okay, so that's cool. That's how far we're at with all of our draft work, which is really cool. Gosh, I feel like I didn't get through a whole lot today. I don't have a lot of time to keep going because I do have to run and do something around like 4. But this is good. So we really have like from the menu. I guess we could fix this real quick. Let's see. So from the menu though, you can get from the menu all the way to the kingdom, which is great. So the game is playable right now, technically. Okay, so one of these things I need to make it so you can't click the buttons when it's still black. And I guess I could do that either by turning off the collider, and then I turn it back on at the end of the animation, which I might do. Because here, this keeps track of the time on everything. And so I think what we do is we go public collider 2D, and then we go menu, buttons, and then all that we do is just at the very end of where is it? If times.length is greater than 1. Where is my... Where do I loop through everything? Is this right? Ooh. Yes. Yeah, dude. Okay, awesome. Yeah, totally create a YouTube channel. That's so fun. I actually have multiple YouTube channels that I run right now, but yeah, and then if you wanted to use a scene from my game, yeah, go for it. Like, all the music for my game will be totally, like, non-copyrighted, like, all that stuff. I don't care about any of that. You're more than welcome to. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. Yeah, I just want to make a cool game that people play. Yeah, that's all there is to it. So you're welcome to do anything that you want with it. And at some point, I am going to try to put more pictures in the Discord that are higher quality. I've been working on the game, so I haven't been working on the Discord very much. I don't understand how I do the times here. I'm trying to figure this out because this is so confusing. It should. This is confusing to me. Where does it actually like turn on the buttons? Where would I do that? Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, yeah, this is so interesting. If times out length is greater than 1, I did this code so weird. I don't know why I did it like this. Here's what I'm gonna do. Which is just gonna make it more confusing, but if menu buttons dot length is greater than 0, I will make it wait like, let's make it wait like 3 seconds just to test it. And then we're gonna go for loop. We'll loop through menu buttons dot length. Then we'll just go menu buttons I dot enabled equals true. Okay, this might work. I'm not convinced. But all that this should do is it should run through the menu and just activate everything. 50 seconds. Is that like how long it really takes to get through it all? I don't know. Okay. So I have a feeling this will work. What we have to figure out is if the timing is correct. It's kind of fun if you want to see how it works. So you can kind of see all of the text spawn in, I think. One of these does it. It'll actually show you like the collider. Maybe not. Okay, so real quick, I just gotta make sure that we can't click on these guys. Okay, looks like that's working. Then it gets to here. Oh, here, I'll turn up the music more because it's cool. Okay, these pop in and there we go. And then the colliders turn on. Awesome. Okay, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah, and then we can start the game from there. Okay, that's cool. I feel happy with this. This is totally like, I could send this to someone as a prototype and say, hey, check out my game, and play it. There's not much to do, but it is playable now, technically. So, all right. I'm happy with this. This feels good right now, and we can start talking about some other things that we want to work on. So I think that is all I'll work on for right now. I can pull up our Trello board and kind of get through some other stuff though, so we can kind of brainstorm like what to work on next. Yeah, okay, so intro animation to first level, did that. So we might as well play through that because we're right here. So if I just go to intro, wait, where'd it go? Here it is. Intro. Okay. So technically he should stand up. Can't move right now, can't do anything. He stands up, and then we can walk around. Cool. I really like this style too. Like, I don't know if that sounds like weird to say, but I've never really seen a game done like this before. I guess like maybe Cuphead, kind of, but just the hand-drawn, like, art style. Obviously, like, I'm gonna make some tweaks to it a little bit so it's not so jumpy. This is not supposed to happen, but it's because I haven't drawn anything over here yet. But just all this stuff, it's cool. Yeah, I like it. I enjoy it. It's fun. So intro sequence works though, which is super cool. We've technically been waiting on that for a while. I guess we are on, we're on week 6 now, technically. So let me add another list here. Go week 6. Because it is Monday, right? Yeah. 17th. When did I start? Okay. We have, I mean, technically that's the only thing that we've done. Although realistically, like that was a big thing though, getting the whole menu to work. Okay, so I think next time what we're gonna work on though, specifically, if I had to pick something, which also, like, it's kind of funny. This will force me to focus on chapter 1 because technically I want to jump ahead to the kingdom, but technically kingdom is chapter 2, and so I shouldn't get too hung up on doing things that are going to be further in the game. I need to make sure that all of chapter 1, all of the different branches for the story that you could go are finished before I move on to later stuff. So that's really cool. So I guess, yeah, I could work on this. Sewers might be chapter 2, technically, if I think about that. Here's the thing, is technically you can go to the Black Barns as chapter 2 because you go later on if you do something first and then come back later. Anyway, it gets complicated really quickly, but all of the chapter 1 elements that I need to add, I should do. And then we can move on to chapter 2. Okay, so let me put chapter 2 stuff here. I might even call this like chapter 1. And then, yeah, I'll just put all of the chapter other stuff into here. Okay, so there will be a continued section of High Society after you ignore Harrison. At which point I feel like that could be a chapter 2 in itself. So that will be the banquet hall. And then I guess technically the falling through the cobblestone trapdoor will be chapter 1. But then when you get to the sewers, that is technically chapter 2. So, okay. So that's all in chapter 2. And then elevator scene. We have to do that. So, okay. I will pick one of these things to work on next time. It should be tomorrow. Hopefully I'll try to stream tomorrow. But anyway, so that's what I got working on right now. Thanks for hanging out. We're polishing up the game. We're getting all the main mechanics figured out, and then I'm just working on writing the story. So anyway, thanks for watching. Go check out some of my other videos and stuff that I have on the channel, and I will see you guys next time.